Hello, and welcome to the history of Star Trek. Today's episode, the Crystalline Entity. The Crystalline Entity was a powerful spaceborne creature characterized by a crystalline structure that resembled a large snowflake. It had warp speed travel capabilities, formidable size, and the ability to consume all life on a planet or starship. Thousands of deaths had been attributed to this entity. The creature was destroyed in 2368. Dr. Kyla Marr was one of the Federation's foremost experts on the Crystalline Entity, studying 12 attack sites including 4-Lat-3. The entity functioned as a giant electromagnetic conductor and needed constant power, converting organic matter into energy. Once the entity ravaged a planet, the planet's natural resources were completely stripped. No further life could be able to grow for many years. Everything, including vegetation and bacteria, was completely converted. Bitterous matter was usually deposited in the entity's wake, as were elevated levels of hydrocarbons, lanthanides, and nitrates. The entity was unable to penetrate rock lined with both carbonite and fissurium. Both metals needed to be present in order to refract the entity's absorption power. The shields of a Galaxy-class starship were also impervious to the entity. The entity attacked the Omicron Theta colony in 2338, stripping all living material and killing many inhabitants, including Raymond Marr, Kyla Marr's son. Colony residents, Drs. Nulian and Juliana Sung, both fled during the attack aboard an escape pod, although Juliana Sung was severely injured. The android Lore was the ally of the entity and responsible for luring it to Omicron Theta. In 2364, Lore was revived and promptly tried to feed the crew of the USS Enterprise D to the entity. The Enterprise's shields was enough to protect it from the entity, and Lore was eventually transported into space. The Crystalline Entity retreated to parts unknown. In 2368, the Crystalline Entity destroyed the fledgling Federation colony on Melenda 4. 2 colonists, including Cameron Dalva, were lost in the attack. Most of the colonists survived thanks to a cavern lined with carbonite and fissurium. The Enterprise rescued the survivors and brought Dr. Marr to the planet so she could study the attack further. She worked with Lieutenant Commander Data in order to develop a technique to communicate with the creature. The Enterprise intercepted the entity after it had killed the entire crew of a freighter, the Callisto. They attacked the entity by emitting graviton pulses at 10 per second from the Enterprise, as lower pulse rates had no effect on the creature. The creature approached the Enterprise, replying with a series of graviton pulses that the Enterprise crew intercepted as meaningful, but which it needed time to decode. Marr increased the pulse rate, eventually trying a continuous gravitation emission. The entity stopped emitting pulses of its own, as the emissions drove it into resonance. The Enterprise crew tried to stop the emissions, only to find that Marr had isolated the access code for the emission controls. Before the crew could halt the emissions, the resonance shattered the entity. Thank you for watching the history of Star Trek. Special thanks to Memory Alpha for all information you heard today. And special thanks to John Wallace for the suggestion of the Crystalline Entity. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you can. If you have, thank you. And have a nice day. Bye-bye.